we go for kind of small changes, like we no need to bother what the development effort. So these are all kind of like configuration, so which we have discussed earlier. Like you have a decision table to go for some level of approval, right? So take an example, $1,000 for level 1, 1,000 for level 2. So in case in future they change the amount, they can go directly and change the amount in the decision table.
Okay.
Instead of asking the developer to fix and do it, right? So that is called development. That is delegation. And what is the advantage is like it will not take any development effort later point of view, right? For small changes, and then if they want to change, they can change immediately whenever they want to be in production.
Okay.
What other advantages over this? So they reduce the cost of development, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
it will be immediately affected.
Immediately affected. So there is no lead time to change the values, right? So it's like immediate effort. These are advantages. And Pega recommends build for change, right? This is what the build for change is like.
Yeah.
Whenever you are doing some build, that is, you are building some application, right? It should not be some hard code. That's why we told many times go for like dynamic class referencing, right? Most of the places we say dynamic class referencing. We don't want to hard code any values, and we don't want to hard code the page name also. Sometimes they will say use primary or parameters, right?
Yeah.
So why? Because like the reusability purpose is so important. Also, like when you're going for some change, it will be so easy.
Okay.
Okay. So you people, when you create some subcase, take an example. You are not initiating using any shapes, right? The subcase initiation. But in some places, when you are initiating your subclasses, you should give the what is the implementation layer class name for the subclass, right?
You mean to say instantiation of the case?
Yes. Whenever you're initiating a case, now what we do, we just do like create a case, right? So you have an option to create a case, correct?
Yeah.
On the step.
Yes. Automatic or manual?
That one is on the case type, right? And again on the process and stages, right?
Okay.
In that each step, like create a case or create a multiple subcase or create a subcase, right?
Yes. Yeah. Got it. Yeah.
There you are giving your class names, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So that comes automatically by default on the drop down. So take an example in case if you are doing in flow, okay, there is a subflow called pay create subcases. So when you refer that in your flow, it asks few information about what is the implementation layer for that class. So the time what you do, like you just go on our code, right?
Yeah.
Let me open one case types and then let's show. You see here, right? Using this py create subclass flow rule, I can pass my child class name, right?
Karthik, we are
not sharing, right? Okay, sorry. Okay. So in this shape, right, I added one subprocess. I added a subprocess shape, and then on the properties, I just choose py create subcases. So here I can hardcode my class name, right, and flow names, right?
Yeah.
So if I hardcode some class name in case any changes in the future, so I need to change it. One second, Durga.
Okay. ఇక్కడ అక్కడ కాదు.
So here, anyway, you're going to hardcode the class names, right? Hello.
Where Karthik actually?
So you see, right? I am using
Flow name.
create subcases, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
This is like a Pega out of the box flow name which will create the subcases. So
Okay.
here now I have to mention what is the class name and what is the flow name, right?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
flow name will be okay, but in case of class name, so these are like if I hardcode, right? In future it's a problem for me.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's why we say dynamic referencing, right? You dynamic class referencing is nothing but prepare a declare page that is called data page, and then from data page you can refer the class names over here.
Okay.
So that's why we say build for change, right? In case any changes, you just have to go and change on the database alone, right? Not other places.
Yes.
So these are all like consideration for your development to avoid your future enhancements or anything. You have to be consider all those points. So just like that, outcoding and going forward, like your current development will work, but in case of future changes, we should think about it.
Karthik, we can delegate data pages also.
No, we can't delegate database. Let me check. Database delegation is, I think, what is the purpose?
In this case,
No, I'm just telling why we say build for change, right?
okay.
Come to that point why we say build for change and what is the point to consider when you go for build for change.
Okay.
So Karthik, whenever if we want to change the class name, means we can change that data page itself.
Yeah, that page you just refer the data transform or some other rule, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
The database also it's bringing somewhere, right? So there anyway you're going to hardcode, right? So one place changing in multiple places is difficult and finding out also is very difficult. But changing on a single place is like very easy on database, right?
Yes.
So that's why people will say, right? Pega also recommends whenever you are referencing any hard-coded value, go for the dynamic referencing that's using the declare page or data page.
Okay.
So
we can also use TSS values here.
Yes, DSS also you can use, but directly referencing DSS like every time you are hitting the system, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But whenever you have anything on your database, you are not going to hit more number of times. Like you are going to hit only once.
Okay. DB we are not hitting, you are saying.
Not DB like anyway the Pega rule DB. No, I'm telling you.
Okay.
Because your data DSS also is like instant, right? So for getting the value, we just have to look up, right? So that is also hitting to database, Pega database.
Okay.
So to avoid that only we are going for database, right? So if we are using multiple times on the same pages, right? We just keep it in our screen, that is in our clipboard, and using across our applications, right?
Yeah.
So when you are building any applications, hardcode the values whenever it's you're not able to do the parameterized options, right, or else dynamic referencing options.
Okay.
If it is absolutely needed for hardcoded, then you can do it, but otherwise you should not do, because that doesn't allow future changes.
Okay, sir.
So that's why I don't know how many of you know about this. Like Pega implementation will be less. There is only 30% of other development. You know, right? In case if you are implementing some application in other systems that takes 100 hours, then Pega will complete in 30 to 40 hours.
Yeah, yes, got it.
So that's why they are telling, right? So in case if you are not following all the steps which Pega says, like the changes enhancement will be very difficult in the future. So why I am saying this, like build for change. So build for change, how many rules involved for build for change?
Decision table, decision tree, data table.
Yes, data table. Map value, map value path.
Map value.
DSS also, yeah, we can delegate. Again, right?
Yeah.
Have you tried delegation flow rule?
No, Karthik. I think flows also we can delegate.
But it is too much technical, right, Karthik?
Yes.
We may not be able to work.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have to consider how much technical involved and how much restriction we can provide to change few things and not to change few things. Okay, we'll see on that. So what is the thing which is needed for delegation? Right now we have discussed what is the purpose of delegation, right? Now what is needed for delegation? What are the things needed for delegation?
Production rule set version.
Okay. Okay, let's discuss what is production rule set.
It is an unlocked rule set version that exists in production, so that users can themselves save as in that new version and can perform changes.
It's unlocked rule set version. So where do you give this production rule set, Santosh?
In the application, right?
Access group.
In the application access group, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so how you are going to migrate this to other environment? Take an example. I got a change directly. Okay, delegated rules is like user can go and change in the production directly, but the production user itself is telling that this is my change. Can you change in the development and bring it to production? Okay.
Okay.
So how we are going to carry out that migration for that particular?
Okay, so those rules in that production version has to be again moved back to UAT, QA, and development. You are saying, right?
There is some rule in production that is like a production. There is dedicated rule.
Okay.
That is there in production rule set, and that is also there migrated into development, and we are making some changes, and we are again going to migrate to production.
Okay.
So now, what is the how we are going to migrate that production? That is the changes.
No idea, Karthik.
Any try? Normally, how you do migration?
Actually, any zip file we created, we will be creating a patch zip file, and we will be importing in the other environment.
Okay, how is the same applicable for this?
But this is an unlocked version, right?
Okay, that's not a problem. I can move unlocked version, right?
Okay.
Because Pega stay allow unlocked version also, right? The top, the bottom of production wrap.
Okay. Then we can move in the same way by creating a product patch and import zip file.
If you migrate, you see any error?
No, we have never tried that.
Okay, so why I'm asking this is like production rule set, it's like single versions, right?
Yeah.
So O1, take an example. So that is there already in production, that is already there in development. So PZ and key is same, right? So when you remigrate it, how could the system identify, right? So you want to send only one rule, that is one change is applied on the particular production rule set. There is no point of sending all the rules in the delegated rule sets, right?
Yeah, the one which we modified.
So what I need to do, I need to migrate with the help of PGINS keys.
Okay.
So I could take the PGINS key and I need to move it. So while moving, I should move two things. What is that? One is my delegated rule. What is the next?
No idea.
Okay, so we see what exactly the introduction on board and what is the steps, right? So this is what we're discussing right now, right? So delegated rules, more than one user, like.
Yeah.
And you all know what happens when you are doing delegations, right? Let me open one rule. So if I have delegated option, can I do the delegation directly? This rule.
In the results one, we have to give some options. Able to edit. Such options will be there in that results tab. Yeah, delegation options.
Okay, so we need to be more careful on this because we should not allow user to add any rows or delete any rows, any columns.
Okay.
So like you have allow to change the values in the cell, but not the entire row column. If they are able to delete, then no use, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So this is what the restriction talks about. This allow to operate row and allow operate a column layout, right?
Yes.
So we need to think whether before dedicating any rules, we need to think about this, whether you are going to provide it or not.
Okay.
Okay, and then let me discard this. You see here, add to favorites.
Yeah.
That is the option we can give it, and I can say my personal favorite or my access groups, other access group, other user professional. So let me open other access groups. It prompts you what is access groups. If I say other user personal, and I need to mention what is the user, I need to delegate this user ID.
Okay.
So I'm giving the label and see delegation. I'll say open the highest version. I will not go for open this version. Okay, I'll say always highest version.
Okay. Yeah.
So let me try this to my ID first. Okay, I'm doing this to my favorites. I'm telling what exactly it will happen on the back end. Okay.
Okay.
So now I'm going back a class called
Karthik, but it is in checked in, right? Changes will be applied.
let me check on that. Wait.
Okay.
So this is the class. Whenever you are delegating any rules, this will be storing here.
Okay.
System user my rules.
Okay.
You see here.
Yeah.
This is like individual and to this current operator, and it says rule declare decision table and name of the class. This is called your PGINS key, right?
Yeah.
So it was stored here. So whenever you are this, you need to migrate this rule also. You need to migrate this system user my rules also. This will not move automatically. Okay.
Okay.
So you need to migrate this one. Got it?
Yes, got it.
So take an example. In case I want to delegate one more rule, right? Whether I can go and add directly and do it here. It's not necessary. I need to go in this rule and do add a favorite.
Okay, okay.
So if I know my keys, right? Take an example. I'm opening this. Oh my god. So what is PG&SK, right?
Yeah.
So I can take the PG&SK of particular role which I want to delegate, and I'll come to this option, right? Favorites option. I can add, and I can say this, and give some text and then save.
Okay.
So this is how the delegation happens. This all automatically created in the backend, right? So you need to move this rule also to be considered. This has to be updated in the production rule set. So when it goes to production, it has to be updated.
Okay.
So if you are moving only this rule, take an example. This one I delegated, so I'll move this. User will not see anything until unless you are moving this rule.
Okay.
So consider all those facts. This is what very much important on system user my rules. People will not migrate easily. That is, they will forget. And then how we can see my rules options, right?
Yeah.
Here.
Okay.
This one.
Okay.
Okay. So why I should have check-in checkout option?
To reflect it to other users.
Not like that, because if you don't have check-in checkout also, it will reflect everyone.
Oh, okay.
For your operator ID, the checkout option has to be checked, right?
My operator is there, but what is the advantage? What is the use of check-in checkout, and when you are going to use it? Take an example. If I am
discard our changes equal.
not exactly. Take an example. If I am delegating to Durga, okay.
Okay.
Delegating only to Durga, so there is no point of doing check-in checkout options, correct? If I am delegating to access group, so multiple people can pull out, right?
Yes, yes, got it. I know.
If one guy checked out, other should not work, correct?
Yeah, yeah. Yes, yes.
So that is the purpose of using check-in checkout, and it depends upon to whom you are doing the delegations. If you are individual, there is no point.
Okay,
So
okay.
if it is a group, then yes, obviously you should have a check-in checkout option. So basically, it goes always with the check-in checkout option.
Okay, got it.
So you have to. So that's why there are a lot of consideration when you are going for the delegations. It's not directly you can go and do it, right?
Oh, yeah.
So this is what you need to say to reduce your errors. These are options you need to take care of your decision table or decision tree or any map value, right? You should not allow user to do it.
Okay.
Okay. And how are you going to do delegable delegations?
Even that data table will be having one PG&SK. Right?
let me open my data table, but how you are going to can you tell me how you are going to do it? This is what my data table, right?
Yeah.
So how I'm going to do it?
I think if we export the Excel, we will get that period NSK as a column.
I'm not going to give this to user, right? This is my admin portal. Correct?
No. We want to delegate the data table to user, right?
Yes.
So then I guess we need to give the corresponding data tables period NSK to that user.
1 second, Santosh.
Okay. Then
Yeah, Santosh, come again.
like the other rows, I guess the data table will also be having some period NSK.
How we are going to delegate?
And Karthik, I think we can delegate those rules of data table, like edit table, edit list, those.
Oh no, how you are going to proceed? You see right now what I'm showing, right? Delegated rules sections, right? This is what you are see from here, right?
Yes.
So this is what it's automatically preparing the values, right? So the same thing, I want to see the list of data tables also here. So how I'm going to do it?
Yeah, to that system user my rules class instances, we need to add the period NSKs of the data table.
Okay. Under this data table, right? So individually I have different rows, correct? Let me open this, right? XYZ.
Okay. Each data table instance will be having one period NSK, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. We want all at a time. Okay.
Yes. Any idea?
No, Karthik.
So let me try to save this and then we'll try how to do it.
Okay.
Go with my framework. not showing or not? You're able to see this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but now I'm not having any options right here. Edit options.
Yes, yes.
So I edit report. So I think 7 is like a little bit. We have one more report, right? This one. Yeah.
This is the default report, right? Karthik?
Yeah, default report. Yes.
Okay. Which will be created when we create data table.
Yeah. Correct. You see now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they can do edit. They can make the changes and they can save it.
Okay.
So this is how you are able to do data table delegations.
Okay.
So it's not difficult, but you should maintain in a single place where exactly all the data table will be there, right? So now I put only link, right? Take an example. I put see here, right?
Yeah.
So now I click on this, I'll get the pop-up. So user can edit it and they can save it.
Okay.
There is the option how to delegate your data table.
Okay.
So I'm not going to do with anything newly created, right? It's all out of the box functionality.
But
Okay,
Karthik,
not hello.
yeah, Karthik.
Yeah.
But how can we restrict using the access group like that? So any user can edit this, right?
See, this my rules also depends upon some privilege.
Okay.
Bulk action is also privilege. Okay. So let me check. So I'm opening this button, right?
Yeah.
Which is primary or secondary. This is next assignment.
Yeah.
Property reference, simple image. You see navigations, right?
Yeah.
You see here.
Yes, that is.
I think I want to take this for an individual class for navigations. Okay. You see, right, my rules.
Yes, that is.
So this one will run these actions.
Okay.
And showing on the your RNSs. This is the RNS which you are seeing.
Okay.
So for restriction, visibility, privilege.
Okay.
So you can have only one navigation and you have a lot of privilege. Take an example how get next work showing for only manager, right?
Yeah.
So it's all on privilege. If you have privilege, then you can show it or not. If you want to add one more layout here, right? One more options here. Take an example. If this is my rules, right?
Yeah.
Then one more option called data tables. Update data tables. Take an example. Update data tables. You can add and show one RNS. The RNS will contain what is the section you are going to create, right?
Yes, yes.
Straightforward. So there is not much difficulty on configuring because like in 5 and 6 also we have this navigation option, but in 5 we are having a lot of issues on HTML, right?
Yes, yes.
But 6 we have navigation. So navigation is pretty much straightforward and easy to run anything anywhere.
Okay, that is.
So this is the advantage of your navigation rule, and you can, if you want to hide, you can delete or you can hide it or you can do it here. This is a separator. You see this lines, right? Lines between switch portal and bulk action, but they have separator over here.
Okay.
So you can do all the stuff over here.
Okay.
So when you are planning for your portal, right? Your portal starts with the case manager portal, right? From here, you need to see what exactly this top section. This is what this one shows, right? The top one, and then the side menu bar. It's like what you are seeing from here.
Okay.
So any customization should be happening on top and here, right? If you don't want to show next assignment, take me somebody. You don't want to show next assignment. Let me open this portal later. This is my next assignment, right?
Yeah.
This is my next assignment. I will say visibility conditions or privilege here.
Okay.
Okay, so this is calling you to get next work.
Yeah.
So this is how you can restrict the users. This is what your data model is, security modeling, right?
Yeah.
Let me open UI. So only we have this much of portals, right?
Yeah.
In case if you want to create anything new, you can add it. In Pega 6, I think you have case worker, case manager, right? More number of options. But here they have only developer and case manager 7. So if you want, you can create case worker and remove this options, right? Next assignment.
Yes.
So depends like which one you are going to try it. You can configure. This mostly like it's not code change. It's like configuration.
Okay.
Okay. So any questions on delegations or anything you are not understood on delegation about your rules and data tables?
Karthik, so
Yeah.
whenever we are adding a set to favorite, then a section will be added in that harness, and one row will be created in the system user my rules.
System is section is already there, Santosh. We not worry about that. Okay. Section will be already there. Dedicated rules. This section is already there in the system, and the row will automatically add it to your system user my rules class.
Okay. So to that section, some link has to be added, right?
It's automatically added. That is what coming from system user my rules.
Oh, okay.
Only for data table you need to do manual effort, but for delegated rules, no. There is for rules, it's no, but data tables, yes, we need to do manual work.
Okay.
Okay, we have to add a section like that.
Don't confuse with on the same section, right? That's why I told open a new tab like update data tables is tab, and then add the values over there, because if you are updating on the same page, like maybe if you are delegating more number of rules, then it's a problem. And you need to give some meaningful name to the rules, otherwise user will not understand what exactly the purpose is.
Yeah.
So technical user provisioning I say, right? So you need to provide the user provisioning list, so user will go and update it. If it is like agency list, then give the proper names, otherwise readability will not be good in case.
Okay.
So any other questions on delegations? Because people will say I will do my favorites, I will say my access groups, some other access group, right? But what exactly happened behind the scenes is like it creates a rule, system user my rules, and it added to over there, and those rules will automatically populated in the my rules tab. So that's how we are delegating, and data table delegation is like pretty straightforward on showing like a link and then updating it.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's not difficult, but in check how any of your applications is doing delegations right now.
No.
No, Karthik.
No, not even a single rule.
No.
So any
In my application, there is a delegation of work objects. Is there?
What of the delegation? How?
That is transforming within transform work object.
I'm not getting Naveen. Ask Durga.
Transfer.
Sorry, Karthik. Transfer.
Transfer, right? The transfer reason is
Yeah.
entirely different, right?
Yeah.
So these are all about the how we can what is the advantage and how we can do it, and what are the things we need to consider for delegating, and how we can display on the screens, and how we are going to migrate also, right?
Yeah, that migration part is somewhat confusing, Karthik.
Yes, Karthik.
Why?
No, actually already initially the production rule set will be in development and that will be moved to all the environments. And that production rule set.
Take an example. You are just having this first time development, okay?
Okay.
So now you are in the dev, and then you are creating a delegated rule set called delegated rule set, and then you are adding few rules on it, correct?
Yeah.
You have one production rule set and adding all the delegated rules over there.
Okay.
And you are migrating. So for first time migration, you always go with the rule sets, right?
Yes.
So you are just migrating to production, and then next time any changes which is happening in the production, that should be synced up with the other environment also, correct?
Yeah, right. Yes.
So they do like backward sync up, like from production they will take an update in the development environment. Next time when any delegated rule got changed, right, I'm saying it's unnecessary to move the entire rule set.
Okay.
So what is the purpose, right? You have 150 rules, but there is 1 or 2 guys are changing in 1 or 2 rules. There is no point of migrating all 250 rules in as a rule sets, right?
Yes.
So instead of that, you need to ask a developer what is the PCNS key for the particular rule he has made changes.
Okay.
So most of the time your system user my rules will not change. Why? Even though I am changing some values in my decision table, right, some delegated rules, my system user my rules value will not change. Why?
Because the PJDNS key is same, I guess.
Yes, PJDNS key will be changed only you are going for next versions, right?
Okay.
Got it? Like if you open a rule on the same version, how many times you are saving it? It's not bothering because it has same PJDNS key, right?
Yeah.
Until unless you are going to next version only, your PJDNS key will change.
Yes.
On the same version will not change. So system user my rules will not to be migrate again in case it's already there. Correct?
Oh yes, Karthik.
So what I'm saying is, in case you are changing, that is adding any more new rule, okay? Any more new delegated rules, then you need to update your system user my rules and send it along with that production wrap, product wrap, right? So that time you no need to mention rule sets. That's what I'm saying. No need to mention rule sets. Think as the instances. How you are going to import your data instance, right? You are going to how you are sending your access group operator ID and all.
Yeah, yes, Karthik. We take the PJDNS key.
Same way you can update it and send it. That time you are going to change only 2-3 rules of the particular delegated rule sets, right? I'm telling no need of sending all the rule sets. That is all the rules in the same rule sets. That's why the problem. The problem is like again while migrating it will show you, right, what are rules we need to override or not.
Yeah, while importing it will ask.
It will ask, right? So why we need to give unnecessary headache to the the admin people that is who is working on the migrations.
Yes.
So these are the best practices. So you don't want to, if you are not moving also, it's not a problem, but you miss the rule, right?
Yeah.
You move you create a new decision table and you delegate it, but you're not moving system user my rules second time. There is no use, right?
Yeah.
So your deployment document should have properly have the proper steps mentioned that what are the rule sets we need to migrate and what are the data instances you need to migrate, right? So when they say data instances, it's also coming on your delegated rules also, right?
Yes.
So or else you can mention one more tab called delegated rules. What is the delegated rules which you need to migrate? So nowadays we have application that is we have deployment wizard, right, directly. So that gives everything, but that's not giving your system user my rules. That will not bring out your system user my rules. That will not bring out your production rule sets.
Okay.
Even in 6 version, when you are running your wizard, right, to export.
Okay.
Anyone ran in 6 on export point of view?
No.
Perfect.
So when you export, I see you will have some series of steps which ask some give you your application name, and then it will prompt you what is your organization division unit, and it take the entire wrap.
Okay.
It's not going to take on your what is called rule sets. It's taking on your entire application.
Okay.
I want to move one of my development to other environment. I want to move the entire system, right? That is called my application. I need to move, correct?
Yeah.
So I'm running with application. So when we go for the deployment class, then I'll show you 100% how it works properly.
Okay.
So migrating on delegated rules, you need to manually include your delegated rule set first time movement. Okay. System user my rules, you absolutely need to enter manually. System user my rules, anytime you are moving, you should enter manually. It will not bring out automatically.
Okay. Similar to DSS.
Yes.
Okay.
So nothing was there. Why I need to move this manually, right? Because this rule is not associated to any rule sets. See here, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
This rule is not associated to anything on the rule set, so that's why I need to move manually. That's why you are moving all your what is called access group, right?
Yeah.
Operator ID, right? This is not associated to your any rule sets.
Okay.
So we need to think about why we are sending manually, right? The data instance and all.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many people are telling you don't have any option for delegation, but the project which I work there, like I have a lot of delegations options.
Okay.
Even for anybody worked on survey, Pega survey.
No, correct.
Okay.
So that Pega survey is nothing but it's just like a dynamic questions. Okay. So when you answer one question, like it will populate the next question.
Okay.
So even that one we have delegated to the user. The question and answer we have delegated to the user. So we have a lot of delegations, like we almost like 20-25 data tables and then almost 30-35 decision tables to delegate last project.
Okay.
Like these are the options we have, but yeah, we need to be very careful on the migration point of view.
Yeah. And Karthik, production rule sets we do not have, we should not have versions, right?
Sometimes people may go
only one version.
Only one version, yes.
So
It's
that is why
we never log the rule set.
Okay.
We never log the rule sets, production rule sets.
Okay. So
and
if
that, come again. Yeah.
So if there is a versioning, then we can move that version. Means the new rules will go with that version, right?
Yeah. In case if you want, then you can log the older version and create a new version, and you need to update your all applications and then access groups, right?
Yeah.
Each one has to point, right? In case if it is pointing over and over and over, then again it's a problem.
Okay.
And any rule which is override in your production rule set, that is taking the most priority.
Okay.
You know, right? Because that will be on your rule stack, right? The first of your rule stack.
Yeah.
The production rule set, that is delegated rule set or production rule set, will be top on your production, that is on your rule set stack. So whatever the values, before delegating, anyway you're going to have it in your rule sets, right? Take an example, I create a decision table that will be there in my rule sets, right?
Yeah.
And then later they say, okay, I want this to be delegated. So what I do, I just save as this to the delegated rule sets.
Okay, means that
and then
production rule set.
Production rule sets. So what are the values which is there in my rule set will be overridden with the production rule set, because production rule set will be top on my rule set stack.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, got it.
So when you are going to test, you can test using a production rule set. Most of the time, if you are testing anything on the SAT or UAT, right, we just save us to the higher version on the dedicated rules and then we do testing.
Okay.
So because like we don't have any open rule sets for SAT and UAT, right? So we just do with the production rule sets. So these are, that's why it's always be on top of your stack. After your what is called private checkout.
Okay. Yes, sir.
So these are the overall perspective about delegations. And whenever I ask someone, right, check whether there is anything necessary to give the access, right, proper access. If you are creating a complicated table, right, you should not give access to delete and add a row, right? You just give change the cell value.
Yes, sir.
If you do that, then your total functionality may break.
Yeah.
So any questions on this?
Fusion, I think we'll be having, while finding it will give priority to version right, or rule set, right?
I'm switching. All right.
Check the private checkout. I'm confused actually. What?
So you see a production rule set?
Yes, yeah.
I'll give some rule set over here, okay?
Okay.
And take an example, if I'm seeing my stack, how I can see my stack using Propel, right?
Okay.
This is my stack, right?
Yes.
So here, after my private checkout, your production rule set will come in top.
Okay.
This will go after that only. So if any rule found on this layer, right? If any rule found on this layer, it never goes on searching over here, right?
Okay.
So any rule found on onboarding, that is my implementation, will not go for any on top of like my framework or Pega rules, right? The same way on my production rule set, if any decision table which is I want to run which is available, it takes from there, right? It will not go to even onboarding itself.
Okay.
So whatever you are telling, right, you are not going to send it as a versioning, right? we are going to send it as a different rule set.
Okay.
Okay.
So we have something called production rule set, prod rule set. We call it as a prod rule set, production rule set, or dedicated rule set. Different names will be there.
Okay.
But both all serves the same purpose.
Karthik, the production rule set will be below the private rule set, right? Our personal rule set. Means
Yes.
the Karthik.
Yes, correct. But in production, nobody is going to check out, right?
Yeah.
So we are not going to bother about that.
Okay.
You got it, Santosh, or still?
Yeah, got it now.
So you should have a plain open rule set, right? It's not on your, it's apart from your rule set which is creating for your application.
Okay.
So these are application, there is rule set which is got created, right? Onboarding int, and then what is called, if I open FW, I'll see FW int, right?
Yeah.
So apart from this, we need to create a fresh rule set. That rule set will be in the top of your stack.
Okay.
Yeah, Karthik. Okay.
Your option here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Production rule set. So you have to mention over there. This will be giving a good opportunity to change the user directly in the production without any lead time, without any time to reflect the changes. Like it changes immediately.
Yes, right.
The only thing is, like, in case if cache was prepared and then we need to play the cache for the particular node, rest of things will be working fine.
Sorry, Karthik, did not get this one.
So technically, they are working in between daytime, right? They are operating in between daytime.
Okay.
If they are running the application, like it's all root resolution, how it works, right? It takes from the cache first.
Yeah. Yes.
So in case any issues happen, right, we should go and clear the cache for the particular node. So Pega admin have a script to run the cache clearing in the DB side.
Okay.
So there are some set of tables to be cleared. The tables are
So
like.
you mean to say even if user modified the delegated rule, the cache has to be cleared before it will be reflected?
Cache will be regenerated. Okay, anyway the cache will be regenerated, but in case if not generating, I'm telling in case of not generating.
Okay.
So most probably will be picking up perfectly the new rule changes. But in case if not picking up, then the thing is like we need to go and clear the cache. Or we should ask the user to log out and log in back. Normally what we do is log out and log in back will prepare the cache for them, right?
Yeah.
So that's the option we can do.
Karthik, here in the access group we have production rule set, and in the application also we have the production rule set option, right?
Both will be same.
Means there is no concept like overriding if we mention in access group like that, right?
No. It's like both of us we are going to give the same rule set name.
Okay. Or it will take, if we mention in the application, it will automatically come here.
No. If we mention application, it will give you on the stack over here, right?
In
Your
the profile you are saying.
If application is purely for stack, right?
Yeah.
And your runtime is for your prerequisites, right? That's
Yes.
what we say, right? So the same thing. Whenever you go for any delegation rule set, then we need to mention in both the places like access group and then your application rule.
Okay. If we mention in any one place also, it is fine, right? Means in the application, if we mention, it is fine, right?
Like Becca recommend to mention in two places, but I never tried in one place and then left it the other place. In case if I try, then I let you know.
Okay.
These are like standard procedure, so we don't want to bypass the way they are proceeding it.
Okay, got it.
So any other thing? Any questions apart from that?
Karthik,
Yeah.
do we need to stop the production systems while migrating, or we can migrate while it is the server?
So what exactly you are looking for?